Discover the incredible transformation of a black woman who turned a chef's joke into a heartwarming comeback. Maya had given up her dreams. Or so she thought. The air was thick with the scent of simmering spices as she cooked with fervor in her cramped Atlanta kitchen. 2 pots bubbled on the stove, filled with her grandmother's beloved collard greens and cornbread, the way she had learned to make from a woman whose love transcended just food. But on a sunny Sunday morning, as laughter erupted around her during the community cook-off, a voice sliced through the warmth like a cold blade. A well-known chef sneered at her dish, dubbing it too homey for the big leagues. The laughter that followed felt like tiny daggers in her heart, mocking everything she held dear. Maya's chest tightened. Tears brimmed in her eyes, but she blinked them away, igniting fierce determination. Was this all they saw in her cooking? Just comfort and nostalgia? Anger welled up inside her, propelling her into a journey she never anticipated. As smiles faded and shadows crept in, she vowed to make her voice heard. In this lively yet struggling neighborhood, her neighbors became her newfound family. They gathered in her small kitchen, sharing not just recipes but stories of adversity and triumph. Laughter filled the space where doubt once lingered. Every chopping sound was punctuated with inspiration, and every simmering pot became a meeting point for dreams long put aside. Little by little, the community lifted her, reinforcing the indomitable American spirit. Still, lurking beneath this newfound confidence was a wave of self-doubt, a monster that whispered she would never be enough. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. When she uncovered a prestigious cooking competition, no longer did it feel like a far-off fantasy. The stakes were suddenly higher, and excitement coursed through her veins. Yet, as she prepared for her final presentation, a thick fog of panic clouded her mind. In a split second of chaos, she realized she had forgotten a critical seasoning ingredient, leaving her dish bland and flat. Her heart sank. Could this really be the end of her dreams? That night, Maya paced her small apartment, waves of shame crashing over her. Was this how it would end? Heartbroken, she recalled why she began this journey in the first place. Then it hit her, it wasn't just about culinary accolades. It was about being seen, being heard, showing she belonged. Through a sleepless night, a fire flickered within her. Tomorrow, she would confront that chef who jokingly labeled her talent as unworthy. Standing up to him wouldn't just be about culinary validation, it would be her declaration, she mattered. As Maya prepared for the culinary showdown, emotions collided within her. She could reclaim what was rightfully hers: respect and dignity. With her neighbors rallying behind her, the community's hope glimmered like a bright beacon. Would this confrontation mark the moment she shattered glass ceilings? Or would she succumb to the shadows of doubt? The answer lay just out of reach, and the anticipation bubbled. Could a simple dish redefine everything for those who were often overlooked? Maya awoke with the sun spilling golden rays across her kitchen, a gentle reminder of the day ahead. The looming challenge felt like a storm gathering on the horizon, yet there was a spark inside her, flickering with resolve. She took a deep breath, inhaling the familiar sense of sage and thyme, her grandmother's voice echoing softly in her mind. Cook with love, Maya. That's where the magic is. With each ingredient she gathered, a surge of purpose washed over her. She set out to prepare her dish once more, not just for the judges, but for herself. This wasn't just about proving herself to that chef, it was a tribute to the souls who had inspired her, the ones who had cheered her on. She chopped vegetables with precision, letting the rhythm of her knife strike the cutting board beat in time with her heart. Outside, the neighborhood buzzed with energy as her friends and family poured into her kitchen. They came bearing not just words of encouragement but their own hopes and dreams, adding to the tapestry of support that surrounded her. The laughter and chatter knitted a sense of belonging into the air, blocking out any lingering doubt that threatened to creep into her mind. "Remember, Maya, it's not about them," Kira, her closest friend, said while helping with the seasoning. "This is your journey. Let them see the fire in your soul." Each sprinkle of salt and dash of pepper became an affirmation, her spirit lifting as the flavors melded. As she mixed the collard greens into the pot, she envisioned the faces of her family, the generations before her who knew struggle and resilience all too well. She was their legacy, and they all deserved her best. When the moment arrived to present her dish, she felt every heartbeat resonate through her. The atmosphere in the bustling competition hall was thick with tension, challengers lined up with their gleaming plates, yet Maya felt a sense of calm wash over her. She stepped forward, holding her plate high, the flicker of pride igniting her courage. "Today, I'm serving collard greens and cornbread," she began, her voice steady as she spoke. "But this isn't just food. It's my heritage. It's the love of my grandmother, the stories of resilience from my community, wrapped in every bite." The crowd was quiet, curtains of expectation drawn tightly. Then she turned to face the chef who had belittled her. With a steady gaze, she matched his smirk with unwavering resolve. Would he scoff again? Or could he finally see her? Just as Maya sensed the weight of anticipation, the fragility of that moment danced in the air. It was as if time froze when she met the chef's eyes, searching for validation. His next words could transform everything. "Maybe it is just comfort food," he remarked casually, but something in his tone shifted. There was a hint of curiosity, an unexpected glimmer of acknowledgement. As she served her dish to the judges, Maya's heart raced. Would they understand her message? The tasting began, she watched their expressions carefully. In a split second, she felt a warmth spread through her as one judge closed her eyes, savoring every bite. The others followed suit, their faces glowing with delight. In that moment, the undercurrent of hope surged. Perhaps more than a cooking competition, this was a movement. Perhaps through flavors and tradition, she could bridge the gap between homey and high-end. Then, the applause erupted like fireworks, shaking her to the core. Maya beamed brightly, tears of joy welling up. But as she looked toward the chef, the poised challenge in her stance remained. What would happen next? Could one dish truly change their perceptions, her fate, and redefine the concept of belonging in the culinary world? The answer hung painfully close, just beyond the horizon. Maya stood on the competition stage, her heart throbbing in rhythm with the applause that washed over her like an unexpected summer rain. She drank in the energy from the audience, each clap and cheer knitting a tapestry of validation around her. Yet, even amid the glow of success, the weight of judgment lingered. She turned back to the chef, his expression obscured by shadows, but she sensed the stirring of thoughts beneath his cool facade. As she retreated from the judges, Maya took a breath, letting it spill out slowly, her mind racing. Did he really mean what he had said? Comfort food. It echoed in her mind. There was truth in those words, but there was also a risk. What if that's all they saw? Could she, and her community's stories, be confined to just comfortable flavors and not recognized for their depth or artistry? She found Kira in the crowd, arms raised in celebration, but her friend's face flickered with concern. What's wrong? Kira asked, stepping toward her with that sisterly instinct. It's just what if they don't totally get it? Maya's voice wavered, the joy balanced precariously with fear. Kira pulled her close, whispering fervently, you brought them a piece of your heart. Not just food. They felt that. Moments later, as the judges began to deliberate, each person around Maya felt their anticipation ignite, but high stakes can shift quickly. Voices murmured through the room, a mix of excitement and skepticism, making her crouch lower inside herself. It was the waiting, that agonizing stretch of silence that cramped her stomach into knots. Finally, the chief judge rose, his face lined with thoughtful contemplation, the papers in his hand crinkling like the leaves of fall. We've tasted many dishes today, and it's hard to choose. He paused, the weight of the moment settling on a tightrope, but one highlighted a personal story that resonates beyond its taste. Maya held her breath. He continued, Maya, you've challenged the norms. You've brought forth not just flavors, but the essence of community. And for that, we recognize your contribution. A rush of warm air surged around her as she processed his words. Then, he named her the winner. Her heart soared, a balloon lifted high into the blue sky, bursting into vibrant joy. Elation exploded within her, yet it was laced with disbelief. Was this the moment she'd been dreaming of? Cheers erupted, friends leaping from their seats. Maya's feet barely touched the ground as she was swept into a whirlwind of hugs and laughter. Even the chef, now standing with more respect than before, offered a nod of acknowledgement. But there was something swirling inside her. While winning felt like the culmination of a lifelong dream, she realized this was only the beginning. Each cheer was like a stepping stone into a vast, unknown territory. What awaited her next? As she relished the moment of victory, the looming questions began to surface. What would she do with this new platform? Would her voice be lost in the noise of expectations? With the bittersweet aftertaste of wonder filling her, Maya gazed at the glowing trophy before her. She didn't want it just to be a symbol of success, but a vessel carrying her stories forward. As she smiled for the cameras, excited for what lay ahead, an undeniable thought struck her. Could this journey become a beacon for others, illuminating the path of innovation and authenticity in the culinary landscape? With a deep breath, Maya knew she would embrace this challenge. But in her heart, she whispered one critical question: what would she have to sacrifice to stay true to herself in this brave new world? Maya felt like she was floating. The trophy in her hands was more than just metal, it was a promise of what could be. But as the cheers faded into the background noise, a single thought pierced her bubble of joy: what was she willing to give up to pursue her truth? As the celebrations continued around her, Kira nudged her shoulder playfully. You okay? You look like you just won $1 million and got lost in thought. Maya forced a smile, trying to mask the whirlpool of emotions stirring inside her. Yeah, just thinking. Oh, Kira teased, thinking is a dangerous path. But her eyes softened, sensing the weight on Maya's shoulders. Don't forget, you're not alone in this. The noise of the crowd began to shift, the music pumping louder, the laughter echoing off the walls. Kira grabbed Maya's hand and led her toward a group of friends who had come to share this moment. Still, the shadow of doubt loomed over Maya, threatening to eclipse her joy. Minutes turned into hours as friends congratulated her, pulling her from one conversation to another. Many wanted her recipe, but even as they celebrated, Maya felt the pressure rising. They saw her as the winner, the chef whose food warmed their hearts, but what about the stories that simmered beneath the surface? Would anyone truly understand her? Hey, Maya. A voice penetrated the noise. It was the chef, making his way through the crowd, his expression more complex than she had anticipated. I wanted to congratulate you properly. Your dish was incredible. It's not easy to blend comfort and artistry. Thank you, Maya replied, her emotions swirling like a tempest. But, it's scary, you know. I don't want to be boxed in. It wasn't just comfort. It was a journey. Then don't let anyone box you in, he said, his tone earnest. You have a chance here, don't waste it by trying to fit into someone else's idea of what you should make. Create your own path. Maya nodded, sensing the weight of his words. Yet, as she gazed at the trophy with its flawless shine, she wondered what it would mean to carve out that path. Being authentic could lead to opposition, misconceptions, or worse, a loss of connection with her roots. As the night wore on, people continued to dance and celebrate, but Maya slipped away to the edge of the venue, seeking a moment of solitude. She watched the shadows dance under the flickering lights, and taking a deep breath, she whispered into the silence, "What if I fail?" What if I become a caricature of myself? The unseen answers hovered around her like moths to a flame. The fear of losing herself was real, yet so was the desire to push forward. This victory, this moment, could be a catalyst for change, and she needed to make it meaningful. Just then, Kira found her, a concerned look plastered on her face. "There you are. I was worried. You disappeared. What is going on?" "I'm just trying to figure it out. What if they expect me to always make comfort food? What if that limits me?" "Then don't make just comfort food," Kira replied firmly. "You can inspire people, Maya. You have a voice. So use it. Be fearless in what you want to bring to the table." Maya felt the warmth of Kira's words wash over her, sparking the fading embers of her courage. As she stepped back into the celebration, everything felt different. She was ready to take risks, to redefine what comfort really meant in every dish she created. But the final thought lingered, like a gently struck chord in a silent room. Could she really change the narrative without losing herself along the way? As the night faded and the lights dimmed, Maya's resolve began to strengthen. She was ready to face whatever came next. What awaited her just around the corner? Maya stood at the edge, the sounds of celebrations meshing into a chaotic symphony. The cheers felt distant now, like echoes bouncing off the walls of her mind. Guided by a mix of exhilaration and uncertainty, she clutched the trophy tighter, letting the cold metal ground her in the moment. Kira caught up with her, beaming. "You really did it, Maya. Look at everyone. They believe in you." "It's just a trophy, Kira," Maya replied, feigning nonchalance. "What if they don't understand what it represents? What if I disappoint them with my next dish?" Kira tilted her head, examining Maya's face. "That's the thing. You can honor your roots while exploring who you want to be as a chef. Start with your story. Share that journey." Maya nodded, feeling the pulse of Kira's encouragement. Yet, the apprehension simmered beneath the surface. In a world as big and vibrant as food, could she truly forge her own path? Suddenly, the music shifted to a slower tune, a melody that seemed both nostalgic and hopeful. Couples began swaying gently, and Maya was drawn back into the blend of celebration and introspection. Kira dragged her back into the crowd, and as she broke into dance, laughter bubbled out of Maya involuntarily, overtaking her worries, if only for a moment. However, as she looked around, admiration and anticipation filled the air. Each person at the event had expectations. They believed in her talent, yes, but they also sought familiarity, a taste they had come to associate with her name. She was caught between the warmth of acceptance and the freezing chill of fear. "Hey, what's wrong?" Kira whispered, noticing the change in her friend's demeanor. "Nothing, I guess it's just a lot to think about. What if they only ever want fried chicken and mac and cheese from me?" Maya's gut twisted at the thought. "That's just one part of who you are," Kira replied passionately. "You're more than those dishes. You can expand what comfort food means. Challenge them. Surprise them." Taking a deep breath, Maya shook off the trepidation. "Right. I can do this. It's my story to tell." And just then, an idea sparked. What if she showcased her heritage through a fusion of flavors, intertwining her past with her dreams? Dishes that spoke of history yet embraced innovation. "Maybe I'll start a series of pop-up dinners," Maya said, her heart racing with excitement. "Each one themed around a different story from my life, my family's story." "Now, that's what I'm talking about." Kira grinned, clearly thrilled. "I can help. We can make it the event of the year. You ready to be fearless?" "Yes." Maya felt a fire begin to burn inside her, illuminating the shadows of doubt. But as the thought took shape, another fear flickered. It was a bold step toward the unknown. Would she manage to stay grounded while flying so high? As the celebration continued, the voices of friends ringing around her, Maya could feel herself at the brink of something monumental. But the nagging question lingered in her mind: would her quest for authenticity come with unforeseen consequences that could cost her everything? The night throbbed with promise and uncertainty, and with each pulse, Maya knew she teetered on the edge. But as she looked at the trophy again, she realized she had already taken the first step. She was ready to embrace the challenge. What revelations awaited her as she prepared to break free? Maya awoke the next morning with the sunlight pouring through her window, spilling orange and gold shades across her bedroom floor. The celebration from the night before still buzzed in her mind, but now the thrill had transformed into a restless anticipation. She glanced at the trophy on the dresser, and an idea struck her like a bolt of lightning. "Pop-up dinners," she whispered, already feeling the rush of creativity coursing through her veins. With unsteady hands, she reached for her notebook. The pages were waiting for her thoughts, her dreams, and her plans. This wasn't just about food, it was about stories, memories, and heritage. She imagined each dish as a canvas, each ingredient carrying voices from her past. There were stories of her grandmother's kitchen, the vibrant spices of her family gatherings, and the smothered love they infused in every meal. She scribbled in the notebook, her heart racing with each word. The first dinner could be ancestral flavors. She envisioned the scent of her grandmother's gumbo wafting through the air, mingling with a twist of modern garnishes, a true fusion of the old and new. She could almost see the guests' faces light up with nostalgia, savoring flavors that transported them back in time. When Kira called, Maya could barely contain her excitement. "Kira. I had an epiphany. Tell me everything." Kira's voice was a melodic invitation that filled Maya with encouragement. "I want to start a series of pop-up dinners, themed around my family's stories. Each one will highlight different flavors and traditions. It'll be more than just food, it'll be an experience." "Oh, Maya. That sounds incredible. We need to get to work," Kira exclaimed, her excitement radiating through the phone. Over the next few weeks, they dived into planning. They scouted venues, talked to local farms about fresh ingredients, and even set up social media accounts to draw in a crowd. Word began to spread, and soon, excitement was building. But with the good came the challenging moments. Doubts crept back in, whispering that maybe she wasn't ready for this. What if no one came? What if her food didn't resonate? The worries swirled like storm clouds over her thoughts. On the day of the first dinner, Maya paced the kitchen, heart pounding. The aromatic scents filled the air, her grandmother's recipes simmered in pots, creating a backdrop of warmth. Yet, in the quiet moments, the insecurities returned. "Focus on your story," she told herself as she paced. Each dish she plated carried heritage, heart, and hope. Her kitchen was an intimate storybook, and each ingredient was a chapter unfolding. As guests began to arrive, the energy in the room shifted. Laughter mingled with the sizzling of pans as friends, family, and new faces gathered. They shared stories, reminiscing about the dishes they recognized. Maya looked around and saw the warmth in their eyes. She recognized her own fears mirroring in them. Everyone had something to prove, a story to tell. When she finally stepped onto the makeshift stage to welcome her guests, her voice trembled lightly. But as she spoke, she felt the apprehension melt away, replaced by a sense of belonging. "Food is more than a meal, it's love, it's culture, it's who we are," she shared, glancing at the faces before her, ready to embark on a journey together. And as the first dish was served, Maya's world opened up in unexpected ways. The smiles, the satisfied sighs, every reaction fueled a fire of confidence in her soul. But just as the night seemed to be setting into a beautiful rhythm, a stranger in the back raised a hand. Their expression held a challenge. "Can you cook something that combines flavors from cultures you've never lived?" Maya's heart raced, her mind a whirlwind of thoughts. She had just started to embrace her own voice, and now the question lingered, stoking curiosity and fear in equal measure. What if she ventured too far from her roots? Could she find a way to honor her heritage while exploring beyond its boundaries? With a deep breath, she met the stranger's eyes, and for a moment, she stood at yet another crossroads. What lay ahead could shift the course of her culinary journey in ways she never imagined. "Let us find out together," she said, a spark igniting within her. The night unfolded with excitement and uncertainty, and Maya realized she was ready for whatever adventure lay ahead. The question now was, could she embrace the unknown and expand her vision without losing herself in the process? The next few weeks were a whirlwind of activity for Maya. Every spare moment was consumed by planning her next pop-up dinner. The first event was a resounding success, and it had a profound impact on her. It lit a fire in her heart, pushing her further into her culinary exploration. To find inspiration, she spent long afternoons in the library, poring over cookbooks and diving into food blogs that focused on global cuisines. Each book became a window into other cultures, revealing layers of flavors and stories she had never encountered. She came to see cooking not just as preparing food, but as a way to connect diverse experiences and histories. Kira became her sounding board, and they would sit for hours, brainstorming ideas. "What if we did a night themed around spices?" Kira suggested one afternoon, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "We could create a menu that showcases chili from Mexico, saffron from Iran, and lemongrass from Thailand." Maya nodded, her mind racing with the possibilities. "What if I tell stories of how these spices traveled through history? Their journeys echo the movement of people and cultures." "Yes. That way, every dish not only tells a story of flavors but connects these distinct cultures," Kira remarked, her excitement infectious. Maya felt a sense of relief. The idea felt right, it felt real. But as the initial excitement settled, a darker cloud hovered over her thoughts. The stranger's question loomed large. Could she truly draw on flavors that were outside her own lived experiences? There were days she wrestled with the weight of the challenge. She felt both exhilarated and terrified. It brought her to the edge of self-doubt again. One evening, she stood in her kitchen, surrounded by the scents of cumin and coriander as she worked on the spice-themed menu. Her heart was heavy with uncertainty. She sighed and glanced at the family photos hanging on the wall. Her grandmother's smile seemed encouraging. Maya closed her eyes, taking a deep breath, allowing her memories and feelings to guide her. "Food is a path to understanding," she whispered to herself. "I can learn. I can connect." As she began to marinate the chicken with new spices, the resilience she had nurtured from her upbringing pulled her through. She poured her soul into those ingredients, blending flavors as she would weave a narrative. The dishes began to take shape, each one a chapter of a story she was determined to tell. On the night of the second dinner, anticipation buzzed in the air as Maya strolled through the venue, a cozy space adorned with twinkling fairy lights. Guests arrived with eager faces. This time, Maya felt different. Her heart danced as she welcomed everyone, embracing the connection that was about to unfold. But just before the first course was served, the stranger from the first dinner appeared, again seated at the back. His presence made her pulse quicken. What if he wasn't convinced by this menu? What if his challenge still echoed in the air, an unspoken weight? She took a moment to breathe, locking eyes with him, a flicker of determination igniting within her. This was her moment to merge everything she had learned, to bridge her roots with new horizons. "I've embraced journeys through food," Maya spoke, her voice stronger than before. "Each dish tonight is a tribute to cultures from all over the world, but woven together with my story, my love." As the first dish was served, she looked around the room, searching for familiar faces in the crowd. There was laughter and chatting, and she could see the sparkle of excitement and curiosity in their eyes. Could she at last silence her own doubts through her action? And just as she began to feel the thrill of the moment, a flicker of vulnerability crossed her mind. What if, even after this dinner, she still didn't feel like she had answered that question? Uncertainty loomed, but so did possibility. Would she be able to fully embrace her journey as a chef and storyteller? As everyone tucked into their meals, Maya felt the weight of that question pressing down. But the laughter and conversations began to swirl around her, and with them came a wave of hope. What remarkable connections could unfold this evening? As the night continued, she felt new beginnings were on the horizon, brushing against her like the sweet scents of spices lingering in the air. But one thought haunted her: would the stranger's challenge lead to the transformation she needed? Maya moved gracefully between tables, checking in on her guests as they savored the first course. The aroma of her marinated chicken filled the room, mingling with laughter and clinking glasses. Heart pounding, she soaked in the lively atmosphere, feeling a deep connection to everyone around her. "You've outdone yourself, Maya," a voice chimed in from the corner. It was Mrs. Sanchez, an elderly woman with silver hair and a warm smile. She clutched her fork like a precious treasure. "This saffron rice? It's phenomenal." Maya beamed at the compliment, a burst of joy filling her chest. Each plate was a canvas, vibrant with color and flavor. She was crafting not just meals, but experiences, memories shared over food. Each bite ignited conversation, and for that moment, tension eased. Glancing at the stranger, she caught a glimpse of his expression. He stirred his dish slowly, the intensity in his gaze fixed on her. Her heart raced again. Was he judging? An unshakable weight threatened her newfound confidence. But in the laughter and voices around her, there was a kind of magic, an invitation to let go of fear. "Have you ever heard the story of lemongrass?" she began, gathering the room's attention. Used in dishes around Southeast Asia, it's known for its healing properties. As she spoke, the diner quieted. Her words danced over the crowd, weaving in history and personal anecdotes. A sense of ease washed over her, breaking down the wall of uncertainty bit by bit. Encouraged, she added, "It reminds me of the warmth our family gatherings always held." Each guest nodded, those connections becoming palpable in the air. Their eyes sparkled with interest, and laughter flowed more freely. In that moment, Maya realized she wasn't alone. Stories kept their history alive, they were shared with love, just as her grandmother did around the kitchen table. Then, a sudden thought hit her, sharp and immediate. What if her culinary journey wasn't just built on flavors from around the world? What if her experiences, her heritage, were the spices that blended every dish? Each story mattered as much as the dishes she created. Just as lemongrass adds depth to a soup, our stories enrich our meals, she said, finding her voice stronger with every word. It's all about understanding. A little taste of their journey can teach us so much. A ripple of agreement coursed through the crowd. She continued to serve, collecting comments and laughter, feeling the spell of connection wrap around her. But the stranger still sat at the back, motionless, his expression inscrutable. Doubts flickered in the corners of Maya's mind again. Would he still question her validity? When she finally found a moment to serve him, their eyes locked. Calories and conversation swirled as she asked him about his experience with the dish. He took a moment, then replied, "I've tasted flavors like these before, but never with such passion. Where does that fire come from?" His question struck her, igniting something deep within. "It stems from love," she replied, feeling the weight lift. "Love for my culture and desire to connect with others." The stranger regarded her thoughtfully, and a flicker of something understanding, perhaps, began to spark in his eyes. It was then she knew. Connection was born from vulnerability, and each dish she crafted was a pathway into her soul. As the laughter grew louder and conversations turned heartfelt, Maya felt a surge of hope. Could this night transform more than just her culinary debut? There was a power in sharing stories, a chance to create unity through the universal language of food. But that lingering question still poked at her heart: would her journey as a chef and storyteller truly resonate? What could unfold in her exploration of flavors and connections? The answers waited just out of reach, much like the spices she still longed to learn about. As the dinner progressed, Maya sensed that she was standing on the edge of a wonderful discovery. What awaited her next? Maya moved to the next table, her mind racing but her feet steady. She felt a sense of purpose in every step, driven by the joy surrounding her. Lively chatter flowed as seamlessly as the rich flavors she had prepared. "More saffron rice, please," called out a young man with a bright smile, his bowl nearly empty. Maya laughed, happily filling his plate, savoring the generosity of spirit in the room. But as she worked, she couldn't shake the feeling of the stranger's gaze. Each time she passed him, her heart skipped a beat. What was it about him? She wished she could read his thoughts, understand why he was so absorbed in her cooking. Suddenly, he caught her eye again. This time, he gestured for her to come over. The movement surprised her, an ache of familiarity crept into her chest. Her pulse quickened as she approached, determination cloaked in a thin veil of nervousness. "Your stories are beautiful, Maya," he said softly, his voice cutting through the laughter like a gentle melody. "But I want to hear more about your journey as a chef and a storyteller." She felt a knot in her throat. "There's not much to tell. Just a girl with big dreams," she replied, struggling to bite back the emotions rising within her. "I grew up cooking in my grandmother's kitchen. Every spice was a memory." He nodded, his brow furrowing with curiosity. "More than just cooking. You're merging cultures, creating a fusion of tastes and tales. That's special. But it must have been hard, right?" Maya sighed, the weight of his question sinking in. "It's scary sometimes. I worry no one will take me seriously. Cooking is one thing, but pouring your heart out? That's a whole different level." The corner of his mouth lifted slightly. "You'd be surprised at how much people crave honesty, even from a plate." As Maya stared into his earnest eyes, she felt a spark of understanding and respect, like they were both navigating uncharted waters together. Her heart swelled at his encouragement. "Every dish I serve is a part of my story," she went on, emboldened. "I want to invite others into my world, to see the richness in each flavor. Food is just the start. And you've started a beautiful journey," he said, leaning in closer. "But have you ever thought about sharing just a bit of your life? Showing everyone who you are beyond the kitchen? It can be liberating." Maya was taken aback. Did he want her to tell her personal story? The thought sent a shiver down her spine. Could she really share the vulnerabilities that weighed on her heart? Could her experiences beyond cooking help others connect even deeper with her dishes? "I am not sure I can," she whispered, the revelation folding into the air between them. "What if they don't accept me?" "They will," he assured, his gaze unwavering. "What's more beautiful than sharing your truths, your struggles?" Just then, a loud cheer erupted from another table, cutting through the intensity. Maya felt the atmosphere shift, an energetic pulse lighting up the room. She turned instinctively, momentarily distracted. When she looked back, the stranger had an expectant grin of hope. With her heart racing again, she took a breath. "You really believe that?" "I do. But you have to want it for yourself. You're the one holding the paintbrush." Maya's pulse quickened. The challenge hung heavy in the air between them. In that moment, her culinary world began to intertwine with an even bigger world, her story. What if sharing herself could open doors she never even dreamed existed? The thought flickered like the candlelight on the tables. But a fear bubbled within her just the same, mingling with excitement. Could she step into a larger arena of vulnerability? As she scanned the room full of smiling faces, the laughter felt infectious. The energy wrapped around her tightly, filled with encouragement. But beyond the immediate warmth, a deeper challenge lay ahead. Could she truly embrace this new chapter, savoring her past while looking forward? The thought lingered, like the sweet aroma of her culinary creations, a promise of what was yet to come. And deep down, she wondered how far she could go if she dared to overlap the spaces between food and personal story. What awaited her just beyond the food, the fears, and the yearning for connection? Maya stood amid the bustling kitchen, pots simmering and spices mingling, but her mind was ablaze with thoughts of connection. The invitation from the stranger echoed in her thoughts, sharing her story could open doors she never imagined. She breathed in the scent of fresh herbs as she processed the meaning behind his words. He was right. Beyond every dish, there were memories, lessons, and a journey that was hers to tell. As she plated her final creation for the evening, a medley of flavors inspired by cultures around the world, her heart raced with anticipation. This was more than a meal, it was a tapestry woven from her life experiences. For the first time, she felt the delicate threads of her past ready to be unveiled. Later, as the evening unfolded, she moved gracefully from table to table, her laughter mingling with her guests' joy. They savored each course, the flavors igniting conversations that danced in the air. An energy swirled around her, lighting the room with a palpable sense of connection, and she felt a sense of empowerment blooming deep within. When the time came for her to speak again, Maya took a deep breath. She could feel the warmth of her grandmother's love guiding her, just as it always had. "As you enjoy this dish," she began, addressing the crowd, "I want to share a little bit about why it matters." There was a hush, a collective anticipation, as she continued. "These flavors represent not just my culinary heritage but my family's stories, the laughter and tears that have been stirred into my cooking since I was a child. Each ingredient carries the echoes of my journey." Maya spoke of her grandmother and the kitchens that had shaped her identity, sharing moments of triumph and struggle. As she poured her heart out, she saw not just plates full of food but faces that lit up with understanding. The clinking of forks and the murmurs of appreciation faded into the background, replaced by an intimate connection, hearts opening like the blossoms of spring. When she finally shared her vision for the future, a series of dinners that would explore themes of family and culture through food, the room erupted in applause. In that moment, something profound shifted within her. She no longer felt the weight of fear and doubt, she felt powerful, embraced by the very community she longed to uplift. But the greatest surprise came when the stranger approached her again at the end of the night. His expression had transformed, it was now filled with admiration and respect. "Your story is beautiful, Maya," he said, his voice filled with sincerity. "You have a gift for bringing people together. You've shown how food can be a bridge between cultures." Her heart swelled with pride and revelation. "Thank you. It's not just about the food anymore. I see now that I can blend my passion for cooking with my roots. And I think you'll inspire others to do the same," he replied, his smile genuine. As they exchanged stories that night, Maya left feeling lighter. Underneath her excitement was an unwavering resolve to use her platform to lift others and share the beauty in their journeys, too. She had found a way to honor her past while still innovating and evolving as a chef. Days turned to weeks, and her pop-up dinners became a sensation, each one telling a new story. People traveled from afar to taste her creations, and the community blossomed. The meals they shared became more than just food, they became a celebration, a movement toward understanding through culinary artistry. Then, one evening, as Maya looked around at the crowded tables filled with laughter, she felt her heart swell with purpose. She had woven her culture and stories into every dish, and it resonated deeply with everyone present. Maya understood her journey was not about fitting into boxes, but about breaking their confines completely. And when she received her next big opportunity, an invitation to a national cooking show, there was excitement, yes, but also calm acceptance. She was ready to showcase not just her culinary skills but also the power of storytelling through food. Maya knew she would carry her roots to the national stage, but knew that the real magic was in uniting people through stories, flavors, and vibrant experiences. She stood on the precipice of something great, ready to embrace every dish and every moment. As she took that next breath, she whispered, "This is just the beginning now, it's your turn to join this journey. You need to subscribe now so you won't miss the next exclusive stories that inspire and transform. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm, your support makes a real difference." Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this ending. What inspired you most in Maya's journey? And don't forget to share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Let's uplift each other. Don't wait not even one more second to share, the time is now.